say to you guys, social media is ablaze. People are saying Mnangagwa needs to resign now, not tomorrow now. Maybe during the Sadak summit or before the Sadak summit. And we need to pursue that. They're also calling upon Hichilema and Ramaphosa. This seems to be the people that have sense that we can see what's happening within the parameters of their nations, but also Tanzania as well. But I've never seen Tanzanian president that much close to the Zimbabwean counterpart. But Zambia and South Africa are. So people are calling out that please speak, say something. I don't know if you guys have been privy to the pictures, very much disturbing images that are circulating right now on social media, where one of the activists was tortured. In fact, they were all ejected out of a plane at Robert Mugabe International Airport. And that's what we're going to be discussing this afternoon. Very sad developments right now. You also know that yesterday was the 1st of August, and we were to remember those that were murdered in 2018 by the military. You know, the allegations are the military. Oh, they are the military because eventually there was an inquiry that confirms it was definitely the military. So please, good to see everyone. And I want to say, if it's your first time to come across this channel, please do yourself a favor, subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time we are live, you're going to be notified. I've seen Ambassador of Peace. I've seen quite a number of people that are coming through here that are just logging off. Demands are Mnangagwa must resign now. You know, very interesting developments now on social media. But there are reasons, really reasons, very profound reasons. And we all know that Zimbabwe has been like a series of pain, generations after generations. But I also want you guys to understand that we are fighting a very heavy-handed imperialist here. We are in that season of a new colonialism, and I'm asking you to really hold each other's hands and make sure your phones are on every minute, so that when you see something disturbing, especially those in the parameters of Harare, take videos. I'm sure we also have alerted most of our securities structures, like in South Africa as well. They say our intelligence to be at bay, so that at least our people are protected. I don't know why we have to fight this way in 2024. Very sad developments. Some people are saying Sadak summit is a curse to a Zimbabwean child. It is a case. Am I surprised? I'm really not. That's why I said social media is ablaze. But again, I need to give you a resume that was dropped by Professor Jonathan Moyo. That is the resume of President Emerson Mnangagwa. That was Professor Jonathan Moyo. I want to read very quickly. He said, cruelty, murder, sex, money, and tribalism is in no particular order. E.D. Mnangagwa's core values. He is a bad news. There is no living person ever forgiven by Mnangagwa, and there's no curse of him ever genuinely reconciling with anyone he has considered a political or an ethnic foe. Right, that is Jonathan Moyo. Very much heavy words that are being said about a president. You know what hurts me the most, or what baffles me, is that we are in 2024. It's not 1500s. Things have changed. We expect politics to be really of dialogue, but no, a Zimbabwean situation is different. They've cracked down upon so many people in the country. Some are being arrested, others are being tortured. We have seen, like I said, disturbing pictures that are circulating on social media. Very disturbing, And my question always, why is it President Emerson Mnangagwa do not speak when these kind of issues are happening? Why doesn't speak? Now I'm going to ask everyone. We have almost people, almost 150 just join us as we open. I'm going to ask you to like the live so that we push algorithm, inviting every Zimbabwean across the world to a conversation, which includes the business sector, the private sector as well. I think I'm tired of people who sit pretty, and that's when people started, owning the struggle, because you were watching what evil was happening right in your neighborhood. The church as well. I'm calling out the church. Why are you quiet in the times like this when children are being abused right under your nose? You're just not saying a word. You are not saying a word. You are simply looking. The church. And you are the ones who are custodian and of truth. And you say you're upholding principles. Now let your principles work in days like this. I'm going to read a message that was sent out by Dr. Walter Muzembe. He said, it's unfortunate. Some are beginning to think this Sadak summit should come and go. Soonest to the country can reset to normalcy. That's what he wanted to say, I guess. Instead of celebrating the visitors and the preparations which have evidently lightened up the city and upgraded roads and generally up the standards, an atmosphere of fear and distract has gripped the rulers and the rude. There is an abnormal atmosphere and a deep distrust between the state and the government that is overrating threats and endangering people's lives. Tisavunduka vanhu zvekudaro reminds one how we grew up and where we literally hidden away when important visitors arrived after weeks of preparation and asked to go and play outside. Chienda kunotamba panse would be the final instruction. We would wish the visitors had never come. Let's not go there, right? That's quite a lot there. It again boils down to our culture. We have been a people who rather respect and honor those from the outside, not the ones that are within the camp. You know, for some reason, we are more inclined or more aligned to the people on the streets than we can with our own family members, right? So are we surprised now that the government would rather hate its own citizens in order to protect its relationship with different people who don't even care when they leave Zimbabwe? You know, they have their own issues. South Africa has got its own issues. Zambia as well, Tanzania, all these member states within the parameters of Sadak have got their own issues. That's why I was very much excited like a few days ago when I saw how they started by literally exposing ZANU-PF that you have been in power for decades, but you can't even build a railway station. That can show you that they're not coming to be your friends. They come to deal with the real issues there. So for you to now hating your own children in order to please outsiders, to me, I find that being sickening. Really sickening. But you know, like I said, ZANU-PF, what's interesting is not only are we calling ZANU-PF, I guess you hear as we move along that people are saying those that crack down on innocent citizens are actually not even aligning with Chiwenga. So there are factions within the ZANU-PF. And I agree, because I was expecting Mutango to be outside and actually hold a presser. I never saw him. I was expecting people within the structures of ZANU-PF to come out and give and say something. I never saw. But I saw two guys, foreign to me. I don't know if you guys have seen them. Foreign. Again, they're the presser talking, you know, threatening citizens. Two guys, Zimbabwean, the ZANU-PF supporters, like nobody coming out. You know, what they don't understand is that everyone is watching and we are taking into account of almost everything that's going on currently, and the people are going to be held accountable. So beware that you're going to be doing evil on behalf of politicians, and when those politicians are annihilated, you are in trouble. This is a war, it's a Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? That's why I said there are two things that I want to give you as a tip, right? I can see a lot of people joined us on TikTok as well. Good to see everyone. I can tell you that there are two things we're going to do. Number one is that we're going to change our diet. Very important. You know, when you're going to war, when you fight with the wicked, is you're not going to have to, not too much of meat. We don't eat too much of meat because meat will make us feel lazy, right? We're going to do much of vegetables and water, you know, and meat, quite a little meat. Let's go with white meat if possible, right? Chicken, fish, because we are going for a fight. You understand what I'm saying? Freedom has to reign, whether the devil like it or not. Number two is when I do a lot of meditation, let's recycle, let's clear up our subconscious where we are head on with the imperialists that have kept us at ransom. You need to remember those tags within the parameters of ZANU-PF are just being used. There's a lot of money that is pumped into the country, right? Coming from the outsiders, you ask your questions, what is their goal? Right? Their goal is to milk Zimbabwe dry. It's an imperialist that has found its home in our country, but what at the detriment of the freedom of our people. So that is not going to work in 2024. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. We are wiser and smarter. But let's listen to the ZANU-PF, you know what, throwing their threats on innocent citizens. But in the interim, please drop your location. Very important, because we are going to have very strict times. Unfortunately, we can't do it now because this is a fight. So you must remember it is a fight. So take a listen, please.
It has come to our attention that certain unsavory elements and anti-progressive spirits have gathered with the intention of disrupting the historic SADC summit. These individuals and groups have been engaging in various meetings and activities, attempting to create chaos scenarios and undermine the SADC program.
All right.
It has come to our attention that certain unsavory elements and anti-progressive spirits have gathered with the intention of disrupting the historic SADC summit. These individuals and groups have been engaging in various meetings and activities, attempting to create chaos scenarios and undermine the progress of the SADC program. However, we wish to assure the public that the pro-economic development synergies and progressive movements within our nation are fully aware of these covert attempts to destabilize the summit. We stand ready to defend the name of the Second Republic and will not leave any stone unturned in our efforts to ensure the success of this prestigious event. In conjunction with all relevant security forces, we will take all necessary measures to prevent any disruptions and ensure a peaceful and productive summit. We remain committed to the principles and of regional cooperation and economic development that the SADC embodies. We welcome regional guests and delegates to our beloved Zimbabwe, the land of milk and honey, the breadbasket of Africa, and a nation rich of gold, tobacco, and vast minerals. We urge all citizens to remain vigilant and alert. We are aware of potential mischief sponsored by rogue elements seeking to disrupt the peace that prevails in our motherland. We stand as the first line of defense for our nation, committed to upholding democratic principles and respecting every citizen's rights. In the words of the Vice President, retired General CG ND Chiwenga, atidi muzorega kushanda makwazo. Similarly, the incoming SADC chairman sentiments resonate with us. Stop making noise in the streets. Make money. We encourage the business community, sporting, entertainment industry, and diverse outfits to remain focused on their respective activities, promoting peace and prosperity in our nation. As we host visitors from across the region, let us continue to uphold the values of peace and tranquility that define our great nation. We are committed to ensuring a secure and welcoming environment for you all. Long live Zimbabwe, long live our peace, long live Comrade Mnangagwa. The same constitution, it is enshrined in the very same constitution, that if there is any right, it should not infringe on another citizen's right. As long as they seek police clearance, they are operating within the same guidelines, they should go ahead. But as long as it's not within the confines of the law, we must make sure that it must never meet a day or a second in this nation. The Royal Charter is a conglomerate of this government. We are general citizens who are concerned about our economy, our social, our religious, our general selves as Zimbabweans. Just like you. Who knows, you might be on Royal Charter. First and foremost, you must understand that within our constitution, there is what you call citizen arrest. For somebody to come to the CBD to do whatever form of chaos, they should be residing from somewhere else. And within the area they reside, there are peace-loving people. It will not see a day. They will definitely be arrested, either by citizen arrest or by the police. We have enough machinery and artillery to deal with that. Okay, I want you to record quite well. This is not a threat, it's a promise. People of Zimbabwe are a peace-loving people. And you can't just wake up from nowhere and cause mayhem within a peace-loving people. They will arrest you. Even in Torashanga, a 90-year-old woman is very much more learned to know that they should arrest you. It's not a threat at all. It's a clear promise. They should try it and see. You, before you even talk about Mnangagwa, you as a journalist have arresting powers. Anybody within Zimbabwe who is more than 18 years old can arrest, can effect an arrest.
Right, that's a good one.
As long as you're 18 years and above.
Okay.
It's in the law. The very same constitution that talks about your rights to demonstrate. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I play that song for a reason. For a reason, right? They think that they are there to make us suffer. It doesn't work. We are having strategies that really work. I'm sorry to say this, we're not as stupid as they think we are stupid. Now they're talking about citizen arrest, which I was saying to myself, okay, we are waiting for a time that we're going to be pulling Manasongezo Shabangu from their house and say, come on, come. We have no time to waste here. That time is coming. It's very close. They don't see it. They are way too comfortable. And these are just simply two guys I've never known. It's the first time to see them. They are sent. And people are alleging that Mnangagwa has got his own military that he created. These are allegations that are just being flying on social media as we speak. And I remember also Susan Mutami posted that and said, do you know that Sean Mnangagwa, that is, is also part of the army, is having his own military? It makes a lot of sense because we don't really see famous faces here out and say anything. They're not saying anything. And you hear as we go along that some people are saying what you're seeing currently, there's actually faction. And people are saying, those that are aligning with Chiwenga are saying, I don't even know why they're hating innocent people. We don't even understand why this is happening in our societies. But like I said, disturbing, horrific messages that are circulating. I guess you guys have had access to them. But some of them, I have to actually bring them on social media. I will do that. Definitely, I'm going to do that. On those short clips, that is awesome information for some of the people who don't have enough data, who are not having access to Wi-Fi. I'm going to ask you guys, if you have access to Wi-Fi, please do me a favor and watch adverts. You know what I do? We put a lot of money to bring all these videos, but there's a reason why we do so. You must know, I'm not complaining. I don't come here asking for donation. No, please just watch the adverts if you can, if you have Wi-Fi. But if you don't, please skip and keep moving. You don't have to punish yourself. There's no reason. Now, horrific pictures are circulating again of a teacher that was of an activist that was tortured. His name is Rob Century. I'm going to read the report from Zim Live. They said horrific injuries suffered by the trade unionist, Robson Cherry, after state agents pulled him and 3 others from a plane in Harare on Wednesday. Lawyers say the 4 were tortured at Ara J. Mugabe, which is at Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport domestic terminal, and then he handed over to police after 8 hours of torture. Which means even at the international airport, people are not safe. No one is safe at the airport of Zimbabwe. That international airport, that Robert Mugabe. I'm not surprised. Let me tell you why I'm not surprised. Are we not going to consider names as we move along, guys, when you're out of all this predicament that we're in right now? Because the very same people we trusted, that we respected and loved, the leaders, are the same people who created a monster among us. Because I do remember a man, I don't know if you guys recall the gold mafia, an Indian guy that was wearing glasses. His name was Kamish or some Kashmir or Kamish, whatever his name is. If you remember him, please just drop the name in the comment section, because it's important for others to actually check him out. I don't remember the resume of a guy. This guy ruined Congo by looting Congo's minerals. And then he did the same thing in Kenya as well. He left Kenya on the ground and he moved to Zimbabwe. He opened a church. This is why I want you to know that most of the churches you are seeing, including your papas, quote unquote, that you see every time hailing the very same oppressor. No, they are working in cohorts with the imperialists to keep us at ransom. It's a game. It's a Game of Thrones. They're playing with your mind. They want to control your destiny. So be aware and be at bay. Understand how this game works, right? It's not every church you are seeing today in Zimbabwe is a church. Most of them are simply machinations of oppression. There are those spaces where they know that people are sitting there and they believe and they listen to lies. They believe in everything, fake prophets and all manner of things. They are actually deployed to keep you at ransom. Be watchful and be smart. So very interesting. And there are also reactions, terrible reactions to what's going on currently in Zimbabwe as we speak. And some are saying, no, you must remember that it's only on social media. It's a lie. People that watch these videos are the highest number is in Zimbabwe. My videos are more than everywhere, all over the world. Zimbabwe's face is second, that's South Africa, third is United Kingdom, and then America, New Zealand, across the world. Zimbabweans are watching what's going on currently. So don't think that we are that stupid or people are stupid. No, they're not. They are fully aware of what's really happening. Even those on pay is trying hard to make sure at least they block them from seeing all their wickedness. Do you even know that when they ejected Zimbabweans out of the plane, when they ejected them, they did not know that people were actually taking videos from the plane. Now, please make use of your phone all over the world, wherever you are in Zimbabwe. Make sure your video call is open so you take videos of every wickedness that's happening, because we are taking that into account. People are going to be held accountable. I can tell you some of them are going to be in prison while their politicians are gone. They don't even realize that things are going to be intense. Okay, tonight we are going to be very much thorough, because I've seen people say this war that we are fighting now is gonna be, some of the politicians that you are busy bragging with, they are going to die, unfortunately, because it's not as easy as you think. I can tell you. Now, Majara Jairo said in 2017, right, in November 2017, the military set a good precedent that once a leader is surrounded by criminals, he must be removed constitutionally. In Mnangagwa's case, he is surrounded by notorious criminals like Henry. We also know Wiki Nochibai, who is on record calling himself a gangster, among others. Mnangagwa must be removed. We owe him nothing. And then Rich responded and saying, "Chiri mudiki makuru vedu vagarotaura kuti idi Mnangagwa, Emerson Mnangagwa ane utsinye kufura Bob akaita president tinokuvarana nenamo yezvoka zvoitika." And I also, this is why I was upset 2 days ago, and I told you that I was angry with I'm sorry, my fathers, they should understand I'm very much analytical and intentional. I was looking at Simba Makone, and I also remember what's his name, my father, the Professor Mtambara, there's Professor Mtambara, Gideon Gono. They are saying they never supported Mnangagwa's throne, but I'm ascension to the throne. And I said to myself, but you were wrong by not telling your people, us, your children, the purpose of us being in this world is to train our children and tell them how this world works, which include informing them of almost every threat that surrounds us, so at least they are aware of how to live or how to navigate life. You failed, the Zimbabwean people. You were supposed to say in 2017, yeah, hold on. While you are rushing to the streets and supporting this whole predicament that you are seeing right now, you are just literally signing for your descendants, or you are signing for your own torture. But you did not. And now you are, fast forward, you are speaking out. That's unfair for us as your children. The reason why I'm here and informing everyone, so that we all move together with understanding and knowledge, not lies and propaganda. Time of lies is gone. 2024, we have all it takes to make sure at least we do the right thing. Now, and they said the military removed Mugabe unconstitutionally in 2017 with the support of the opposition. That must be very clear. The opposition was a big factor in Mnangagwa's ascendance to power. This is a historical fact. Okay, understandably so. Like I said, I was also part and parcel. We were dancing and have parties in my house. We're like, oh, finally, we're off the chains of Mugabe. Little did we know this was a well-entrenched system that we think one person is going, no. It's a system. That's why I'm saying we are fighting a very heavy-handed imperialist here. That's why we need to hold each other's hands and say, this is not going to work. You think this sport that you are seeing in Zimbabwe just being used? Why can't you ask yourself, why is the money stashed in foreign lands? That's where their friends are. Their friends are the ones sponsor all these elections. You see them jumping election. No, it's because they know that there's money that's going to come into the country. And what do? They share that money among themselves. 100 million gone among their friends. And what they do is woodwink and play with our destinies. It's time we rise up and said it is enough. And Majera went on to say the time has come for the people to stand as one, remove the cancerous tumor that has become Mnangagwa, his wife, children, and cronies. He must be removed peacefully, constitutionally. He is incapacitated by greed and ruthlessness. He is not fit for purpose. He has never been. Why didn't you August 2020 electoral defeat in court? That is constitutional route. But anyway, that was a ZANU-PF. Because remember, there are also people that are paid 24/7 to spread lies. So the moment people like me and quite a number of guys who are really very instrumental, I can tell you, there are people doing incredible work that you don't even know. Amazing guys from Zimbabwe that you don't even know, but you will see them eventually. They're doing incredible work, but informing the masses, and there's always few guys who are deployed to immediately debunk on what they say. There are ZANU-PF propagandists that have been unleashed, be it on Facebook, TikTok, X, to be specific, X, there are more, because on X, that's where most of the truth is coming out, right? So these guys who immediately debunk so that people, or just drop something that just causes a bit of chaos. So be wise and be sober and vigilant. And he said, no, we want him constitutional route that was used in 2017. It is effective than any other route. He must remove the same way. That's what they are calling out. And then Shane said, dear gang, he's now referring to the army generals, the bigger fishes, like the army generals, the bigger ones, right? You call them the generals. So he said, one thing that you can stop is ED becoming a chair of Sadak. One thing you can't stop is ED wiping you all out during the year he is Sadak chair. Why? Because he will be immune from 2017 repetition. Muchapera sen nunzaro and Hichilema. Be wise. So he's referring to the generals and say, play a part and make sure that you do the right thing like what you did in 2017. Because if you don't do it, it's going to finish you off. And people say, I think at this point in time, we have nearly 33 generals. Because I remember there was a time one of the guy, was it Never Masora say, literally wrote on Twitter, and he had to put all the names there of the army generals that have been killed from 2017 to date. There was almost like 33 army generals, and they were saying beware, because he's going to finish you off just for him to consolidate power. So be wise. And this is what people are saying on social media. And he also said the time has come for the people to stand as together, like I said, to remove the cancerous tumor that has become Mnangagwa, his wife, children, and cronies. He must be removed peacefully, constitutionally. He is incapacitated by greedy and ruthless. He is not fit for purpose. He has never been. I mean, for me, I'm like, notwithstanding what people are saying on social media, every time, whether there's an abduction, there's torture in the country, I've never heard Mnangagwa, as a president of Zimbabwe, coming out and condemn it. Never. If he did, please, you can remind me by sharing the information or the link in the comment section. I want to see it. I never expect Mnangagwa to stand firm. Yo, you know what? Now that's when I sit down. Sometimes I'm looking at South Africans. I'm like, yo, you're blessed. Yo, you are blessed. Having Ramaphosa, it's a blessing. Because Ramaphosa is a father. He's a leader. You know, I can talk about Ramaphosa when he does something wrong, but man, when I meet up with him, he's gonna greet me with a smile and tell me, my child, you know, I believe in you, my child. And I'm like thinking right now, oh, Holy Ghost, I'm gonna be emotional. This is crazy, yo, man, crazy, right? Have you ever wish a neighbor can be your parent, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. That, yeah, I'm actually like, just imagine if like Ramaphosa is my dad, you know, he's like our president, right? Holy Spirit, please help me. Right? Man, this is crazy. Yeah. Okay. You know, you wish, you look at South Africans, you're like, yo, you don't have problems, yo. You don't have problems. You know, if you see the pictures that are circulating right now where my brother, like, yo, I love Zimbabweans, I love y'all. You know, you're all like family to me. You know, I'm seeing this guy, like a young man, being beaten up until his butt is black. And I'm thinking about this is going to be someone's father. The trauma for generations is going to be someone's, you know, he's literally like a leader. You understand what that means? It's trauma for generations. When some people tell me that, oh, the Gukrahund is over, I'm like, shut up. We are still in the Gukrahund as we speak. It hasn't ended at all. Yeah, we're still fighting evil daily in Zimbabwe, daily. Money is being looted like nothing. Or people are suffering. But every kids can't even go to school. We have like a report that almost 500,000 of the kids have dropped out of school in such a rich country. And someone is going to tell me, oh no, everything is okay. It's a lie. Everything is not okay. It's not okay until our people are living freely and being able to fulfill purpose. That's what we call freedom. Holy Spirit, help me. You're going to forgive me, please. Yo, this is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm very much an emotional being by nature. Please bear with me. All right, so we're going to move on. And Max Lyon, because these are reactions of different people. Max Lyon said, I saw the pictures of the human rights defender and member of the Amalgamated to Raw Teachers Union, Rob Sarichere. After he was abducted, tortured yesterday, he was treated in a degrading and inhuman way, contrary to Article 3. This case should be tried at an international level. I've always been asking, I said, why can't we go to the international court to those that, I mean, the lawyers, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not really privy to what the law says, especially on an international platform. I mean, look at the constitution. Well, I know that, and you also know that the constitution of Zimbabwe don't work as we speak, right? They do as they please. It doesn't work. It only applies when they want to do whatever they want to do. They can twist it, just to nail innocent people. You've seen what they did. These guys were simply going to a meeting in Victoria Falls. They nabbed them, ejected them from the plane, nabbed them, tortured them. And you also know torture, that it is a crime against humanity, right? And I can tell you that George Chanamba is an evil man. And I'm not surprised. I even wanted to ask a question. I said, why is he even being called a spokesperson, in the president's office? No. Then I was like, no, how can I be surprised? Because, listen, yo, those who come in my house, they know you don't mistreat anybody. Everyone gets treated the same. You see, you're going to have to mirror my life. I'll project myself on you. You have no choice. You don't do as you please. There are rules that you honor. So if the moment a leader people start behaving a certain way, it automatically tells you the characteristics of their leader. George Charamba spews vile. He's got 3 ghost accounts on Twitter. Number 1 is called Donzam Soro. The other one is him, George Charamba. I'm talking about George Charamba that you hails and respect in Zimbabwe. Yo, you need to start calling people as they are and look at them. I said, I don't want to talk at this wicked man. This man is wicked. And I wish this son can hear the one that is committing right now on behalf of Zimbabwe, in Paris. I'm sorry to say, some people will say, oh no, but leave children alone. No, inyoka. If your father can be evil, you need to stand up and say, Dad, no, treat people the way that you treat me. Because respect is when I treat you the way that I treat myself. That's a real respect for humankind. This man is vile. He's evil. He is evil. But yesterday, people went on him. I'll tell you some of the things that he even said. He said, you guys are going to see, are going to make sure you suffer. That's what he said. George Charamba from President's office, Mnangagwa's office, he said he's going to make sure you guys suffer. He said we'll torture you and for generations. You know how that's going to make me feel, right? You're much aware that it's going to wake up the lioness out of me. And wake up the lioness out of me. And this is what Ali had to say to him. He said in Kenya, politicians and political class had to go into hiding. In Zimbabwe, they laugh and joke with the murderers, dripping blood on their hands. You are not ready for your freedom. He's telling the truth. You are laughing with the very same people that keep set ransom. And do you know what, Zimbabweans, most of our people, you are the reason why we are suffering. This whole business, private class you're talking about, all manner of crap. I always ask you questions, said, how do you even run a successful business in a country that is so broken in Zimbabwe? It says a lot about you. You are the one who is busy funding evil in the country, that our people is to be abused. You are the one sponsoring the wickedness of these politicians. You are. And Susan Chami went after him as well, went after George Charamba and said the end for some of you is going to be inhuman, especially for you, chameleon, George Charamba, a treacherous man without any loyalty in his DNA. You betrayed his former boss and his wife last minute. He's referring to Mugabe. You have blood on your hands, Wena, apart from murdering your late wife, Rudo Charamba, whom you had given AIDS. You sold out all those CIOs and police officers that died at Blue Roof protecting President Mugabe. On the eve of the coup and caused the death of one of the CIO deputy director with your treachery. Selling your boss's diary staff names, travel plans, and secrets, Iwe Imga Iwe. That's what you say. God, I didn't even want to say these words, but I have to read what's written here. Some of us know how to put you in your place. You special naughty man. I have your special files in my head, in my hard drive. Don't ever think of denigrating women and mocking innocent citizens again, you idiot. And she was right. I know people are angry when they're throwing such kind of words. They're mad on social media, fighting with George Charamba. Because how do you even say such kind of words? How can you, as in the president's office? Yeah, listen. And some people can say, oh, but South Africa on its own is not safe. I've never heard Ramaphosa or even his spokesperson or secretary be supporting evil. Never. Where would they stand? You have seen South Africans standing firm and fighting on behalf of Zimbabweans. Then you tell me, in Zimbabwe, some of our people who keep quiet when wrong is happening, they're even feeding on it. Pretend like they don't see that their brothers are being hurt. We are the people that is a problem. We need to start coming together and stop every evil in the country and do right by our own brothers. Now Kazembe, you hate him. Speaking vile, threatening citizens. Again, Kazembe. Mr. Kazembe, you're not going to be in ZANU-PF power forever. It's going to end soon. And bear in mind, you'll be held to account. You are too comfortable, way too comfortable, threatening citizens all the time. Any chance that you get, you speak to people like you're crazy. You forget that you are simply a human being. You're not immortal. Take a listen, please.
Clear that the organizers seek to provoke a heavy-handed response from government, which they assume would attract global and put Zimbabwe on the spotlight. We have been through such episodes before and are prepared for the same. The attempts at rendering the country ungovernable would be met with befitting responses. Let those seeking to create an atmosphere of despondency among peace-loving citizens be warned that such antics will not be tolerated. Fellow Zimbabweans, we assure you all that peace and security is guaranteed. Spoilers and anti-development-minded forces shall be dealt with decisively. We call upon the nation to ignore the numerous misleading social media messages from opposition quarters. We will go after those pushing for lawlessness and allow the law to take its course. This country has adequate laws to deal with those bent on lawlessness. Adequate measures have been put in place. Adequate measures have been put in place to account for and rein in anybody seeking to disturb peace for whatever reason, including the misguided view that only them and their leader should lead government. They are an unashamed, power-hungry group. Fellow Zimbabweans, esteemed guests and visitors, while the freedom of expression is a fundamental right, it is paramount to observe that your enjoyment of that freedom should not be at the expense of the freedom of your fellow citizens. Section 86, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe provides that the fundamental rights and freedoms set out in this chapter must be exercised reasonably and with due regard for the rights and freedom of other persons, unquote. Freedom of expression does not and cannot mean the right to remove a democratically elected government from office and to replace it with people or a party elected by nobody. Historically, the opposition has never held any peaceful demonstrations. It is indeed disappointing to note that misplaced priorities of sections of the opposition who are agitated to stay civil unrest at a time focus should be on hosting the summit. The timing of the push for demonstrations is not surprising. It has historical footprints. We have always witnessed the penchant to mobilize for demonstrations around regional and international events. This Sadak summit was therefore not going to be an exception. Allow me to sound a candid and stern warning to those bent on disturbing our peace and tranquility. Let me categorically disabuse those making a misguided perception that the presence of the international community during the summit presents them an opportunity to inflict reputational damage on the country without consequence. The security cluster is aware of the secret meetings being held locally and outside the country by those seeking to unleash civil disobedience. We already know the personalities and the institutions that they front. We are also aware of those giving them logistical and financial support. We have also established their modus operandi, which includes hiring taxis to ferry demonstrators. This government has a constitutional mandate from the people of this country to govern.
Wow.
The people democratically spoke boldly in August 2023. We will not be apologetic to exercise that mandate given by the will of the people through universally acknowledged processes. It must be recognized that those pushing for the protest did not exploit internal legal remedies to their purported and imaginary electoral grievances. They instead think that political power can be obtained undemocratically and unconstitutionally.
And he's lying. He's lying. They're just paranoid because now they see that they are losing control, And the protests are coming, whether they like it or not, they are definitely coming. And funny enough, because when he was busy talking, Kazembe had police around him. And I was laughing. I'm like, okay, so what are you trying to say? And this is why I said earlier on your head that all that you saw was simply another faction, the people that aligned with Mnangagwa. But otherwise, on the side of Mchiwengo was like, I don't want to get involved. Did you see Muchanga coming out? You even heard Muchanga saying a word. And it was like, these small boys that we heard talking, we don't even know who they are. Where are the real leaders in ZANU-PF? Are saying we don't want to get involved. I even saw a tweet that was sent out by me. He said, to actually know that the people that are hating, I want to work with them, it is perplexing. It is perplexing. Nobody wants to align themselves with every evil that's going on because they know anything can happen from now. And if something happens, what am I going to do? When I was busy supporting evil in the country, don't do it. Don't do it because things are going to turn very ugly. And you know what? Some of you'll be held accountable. I told you that, remember, the files are out there. Things people are seeing, videos are being taken, and you are in trouble. You are going to be held accountable. So please play safe. Don't do evil. Leave it. If anyone wants to fight, did you ever see Mnangagwa send his children out? You need to ask yourself questions. Did you ever see him send his children out to go and fight? Have you ever seen it? You ask yourself why. Because in the court of law, you can't blame someone you never been seen. There must be evidence. And the evidence that is out there is your evidence. It's you. All right. Time will tell. You think I'm joking? It will tell. Now Musa, the human rights attorney, said the level of fear and paranoia is telling. There's a song from Steve Macon which with lyrics along the lines benze remusha kuita mimba iwe kazia she take it okay uneya unoziva sorry yeah okay it's kind of like kuvunika chati kwata hunge wene katurike sort of and the US embassy also went on and say the increasing reports of detention and violence towards Zimbabweans exercising their constitutional rights of freedom of expression and assembly run counter to the democratic principles upon which Sadak is built. So Sadak needs to start acting. I mean, I'm saying you need to take Sadak everywhere you can. I'll tell you why. It's because you can't. We are suffering right now. Our people are being tortured, abused, arrested because of your summit. Right? Your summit is becoming a curse to Zimbabwean people. It is a curse. The Sadak summit is a curse. Because if it wasn't in Zimbabwe, I don't think we would be having what we are seeing today, right? So yeah, they need to know that it's their summit that's bringing a lot of pain to the Zimbabwean people who are already bleeding, right? Zimbabwe's already bleeding. We have been fighting for freedom for as long as we can remember, decades. 1983, when I was born, 41 years ago, it was Kukrahunde, right? And the people suffered. They were tortured, killed. I mean, you know, when you hear the scenes of what really happened there, it's heartbreaking and disturbing. 41 years later, we are still fighting the very same organization, ZANU-PF, and their systems that they've created of wickedness and evil. Now, from some corners, he said, I wish to stress that citizens have not and do not intend to commit any crime or harm anybody, and to reiterate that peaceful protests are perfectly legal and unlawful in Zimbabwe. Section 59. The regime is trying to criminalize a constitutionally guaranteed right, and we will not surrender any of the rights construed to us in the Constitution, and which was earned through the blood and toil of our liberation forefathers, who laid down their lives for these very rights to subsist. And he dropped down in the list of what they are going to be standing for. Number one, he said it's time Zim Rice campaign is no to government of national unity, no to 2030 extension from Mnangagwa, no to ED's third term that he is also clamoring for, no to Zimbabwe chairmanship, no to illegitimacy, no to dynasty, which is building within the parameters of this family, no to police brutality, no to unjust taxes, no to corruption. That's what he said. No, it's a no. That is the agenda as people will be protesting come Sadak summit. So illegal arrests across the country as well. Some of them happened in Malawi. I've told you last time that one thing that I respect for the police in Malawi is they won't allow their people to be tortured. They will not allow Gukurahun to happen. It's only in Harare where there's overzealous, crazy people who are sick in their heads. But Malawi won't allow it. If you say arrest, they'll arrest. But you don't torture their people. No, you don't. Because they know what's going to happen. What will come after them. They know. They know for sure. So I said the illegal arrest and detention of Comrade Bruce as well. Bruce is a counselor by members of security forces in must be condemned with the utmost contempt that it deserves. Ferret gang Ferret gang members have been hunting Bruce Moyo for the last 48 hours. His homestead was besieged and his parents were harassed by the desperate regime. The fear that has gripped ZANU-PF ahead of the Sadak summit is unprecedented. The Sadak summit will not proceed as planned if these harassments continue. So people are saying we're going to block them. If this harassment continue, the entire summit it will not happen. I would also stand to say you want to fight me, then it's definitely not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. Professor Mkwana went in and said that they will try to employ all tactics to intimidate and decimate the people's movement, but they will not succeed. Let us remain peaceful, solid, and focused. We want a legitimate government in Zimbabwe that answers to the people of Zimbabwe and promotes, upholds, and protects the constitution and all citizens. A new great Zimbabwe for everyone is on the horizon, which I said amen and agree with. And you know, one of the reasons is corruption. I've told you it's the imperialist that is funding all the wickedness in the country. You could ask yourself, why is it they funded poverty and the drug pandemic, right? Imagine if all the youth that is drugged today were like what happened in Kenya. There will be such a movement in the country. But imagine most of the people are fighting drug addiction. It was intentional, right? To make sure that they decimate young people from standing for what's right. So corruption is the main problem that we're having here. But I want to read a quote from Professor Lumumba. He said in Japan, a corrupted person kills himself in Japan. In China, they kill him. You know, they execute you in China. In Europe, they will jail him. In Africa, he will present himself for election. Are we surprised? Are we surprised that in Africa and Zimbabwe, corrupt individuals will present themselves in parliament? They'll present themselves and say, I want to be your president. What do you expect from a corrupt person, from a gang? What do you expect? Violence is what you expect. Because a gang will do everything in their power to make sure they keep you in control. They keep controlling the society. I'm not surprised why we have such problem in Zimbabwe. And we have seen for the past weeks, what happened with the Auditor General report. You need to remember that the Auditor General report is at the tip of the iceberg. It's simply like, what is that? It's nothing compared to the real corruption that's going on. The criminals are like wearing suits. You can see signing out 90 million coming out to people who never even deliver the goods. 87 million, 90 million, 100 million. You need to ask yourself questions. As we speak, you saw that those guys were arrested, but there's cleanup of all their corrupt activities. But they won't win because the information is already out there. The Auditor General report was very clear. You remember in the Attorney General office, there were corruption happening there. That 18 cars worth of $907,000 were looted through by World Trading and Paza Buster. It's in the Auditor General report. We move to the Minister of Mines. AG warns an increase in public debt after paid a loan from Wanke Colliery Company worth US $14.6 million. Again, corruption in the mining industry space sector. Now we move to the Minister of Finance, where Mthuli Ncube is there, hailing himself as a leader, but I hear that he's building a mansion in Denver, South Africa. I mean, he is a minister in Zimbabwe where he's supposed to be controlling finance, but he does not trust the very same economy that he is purporting to be promoting. He wants to build in South Africa so he can come and be living lavishly after all the looting happens in the country. So they also, again, more corruption. The Treasury reported transferring US $11.7 million to ministers, departments, and agencies. 8.4 million received. Right, ministers received $11.7 million. Just calculate how much that is in trillions in rands. These are trillions, millions of rands, right? And they just share with their friends to eat. And you expect those people to let go easily? Are you surprised why the country is going to the gutter? Is there evil works? Mthuli Ncube last week, he went in and presented the mid-year budget. You know what happened? He said, no, he doesn't have time for the questions, and he left. You can ask me next time. The Auditor General for 2023 only came out earlier this year. You ask yourself why. They're busy cleaning all their dirty works that they're doing. It's looting left, right, and center. They're looting the country dry. I have as many people here. I'm going to ask you to make sure that you like the life, so we push algorithm once again. Right. So while I'm here, for those that may be looking into opening a business, like a formalize their business, right? I'm gonna ask you, more details will be dropped in the description box and also in the comment section. I'm gonna pin that information for you as well. Please do conduct global research. They'll assist you in opening a business in South Africa, as well as opening a bank account as well. It's a business account that can also operate as an investment account. Those opportunities are there for you, especially Zimbabweans. I know, because at the moment it's a mess in a Zimbabwean financial sector. It's a mess. So please take this opportunity, like as a golden medal, you guys to proceed with, or at least planning for your financial your financial goals come 2025. Because it's a mess in that country. Now the Minister of Justice as well, the Master of the High Court purchased from Croco Motors 4 motor vehicles, 1 delivered and 3 were looted. And when they say 3 were looted, it simply says that some of them went to the people's houses. They will buy cars on behalf of the government, and those cars get delivered to people's houses like their personal cars, and they can drive these fancy cars. That's why you always hear people say, no, they are powerful in Harare. They are, they're untouchable. They command respect, whatever they call. They're not commanding respect. It's fear. Fear is not respect. When people are being abused, they're not respecting you. It's fear. When you command respect, is you do right, and you write down. When you write your bio, there's respect. This is what people have been asking. Said, Mugabe don't even have a bio. No book that was written on behalf of him. He spent his time just focusing on things that were stupid. Power. Fighting of Papa. If you read the bio for ZANU-PF and written by Mtambara, if you read his latest book, In Search of Zimbabwe as Dream, I think, volume 3, you will see how they've been fighting for power. Everything in ZANU-PF is just power. Nothing else. And things, houses, cars, land, money is what they're dying for. No book, nothing. What are they going to write? Who's going to read their book? Nobody. And I'm waiting for a day where people are going to be taking down their statues. I saw another country recently where people were taking down statues for wicked men and women. No legacy. Everything is evil that they're sowing in pain, hitting the people, and expecting that there's going to be respect. Forget it. No one is going to respect you. Oh, liars. This is actually the Minister of Justice is for Ziambi, whom you see talking nonsense to citizens. But that's who they are, right? Disrespectful at any given time. Now moving on, my ambassador. Okay, I'm going to say shout out to this woman. She's doing incredible work. Her name is, she's called My Ambassador Online, right? She had an interview, that is for the family life, with, I think that must be Power FM. Yeah, and she said something that was quite interesting. And the people sent me, they wanted me to just say what I think about what actually happened. And I'm definitely going to do that. I can see people send me some invitation on TikTok. I cannot accept any invite because when I'm live, I have to consider those that are on YouTube, because there are people that are live right now on YouTube. So I can't do that. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. I cannot be able to accept an invitation. All right, so now we're going to be listening to her, the ambassador woman. May God bless her. All right, she's trying to help the girls, but okay, I'm just going to tell you what I think about what she said. Quite interesting. Take a listen, please.
Those two people are married, they're disconnected. Chinozoita kuti vakadzi futi vasitanga kuabhusa varume vakushanda because vakadzi vari mudzimba vari kushanda nekuda kwekutsvinyirwa. Murume anenge achiti nekuda kwesouti chaiyo ndokuchengeta iwewe ndiri munhu anokuchengeta. Mukadzi anoenda kubasa neshungu dzekuti Mwari apa mwachanenge ari nhere vanyatsofila unhere. Uchidya chingwa so wakachisa majari nchudzi waimazira kupi majari inaya anditi pamwe muri muhani room rent $30 musi waunozogona kubhadhara rent iyoyo, you will stand up for yourself. Ndo zviri kuitika. So varume need to always give more than just money. Yes, waunza groceries, but provide friendship to your person. Paunoenda out peka vamwe vacho anodya mari nemagirlfriends kana vachishanda, anodya mari nemabhuru ake, mukadzi nevana achivasiya, anotenga matables, anenge akuda kuti uchinyatso experience kwete nekunzwa, no, unyatsozvifila kuti zvinoita sei. There are people vekuti vari married kachiro mumaka unogona kutozoti baba ava vakanga vasinga makunzwa nevana paspeech graduation kuti mama has been working vega for the past 10 years. Mukutishamisa kuti mai ndombochipinza vana chikoro musingambozvizive. It's because you've got a man who has given you more than just money. Dambudziko riripo nderekuti varume vatinavo currently, all they can give is just money. Saka kana isisipo ndopaunoona kuti andina chimwe chinhu chandinacho. Because kana baba vekuti nhasi mari havana, but vanoti inini ndikaenda kubasa ndinodzoka vachinja mwana dhaipa, vaklinawo mumba, vatobika. I will feel like I'm this woman who is still being taken care of.
A good man that knows a woman's needs. What is a good man that knows women's needs?
Obvious, murume kana achiunza chikafumba, kana achibhadhara mafees, akawanisa mhuri yake pekugara. That man is a good man.
That knows a woman's needs.
Yeah, ndoma needs chimwe chamungadi.
All right. And then how are we going to define a good man that knows a woman's needs?
And who knows a woman's needs is first a man who has realized what the woman really needs, not what Uncle Jeffers defenses. Generalizing. You know, we need different things and we prioritize different things. I can say, even if I can marry, but I need a friend, I need a comfort, I need someone who supports my vision, someone to work with. It starts there.
You see, one challenge iripo ndeyekuti munogeneralize kuti zvandakuroora iwewe ndakuziva zvese zvaunoda. Have you explained those needs to me? Have you defined exactly zvauri kuda kuti ndikude uchida?
But there goes men that say,
uda undiudzira kuti ndokuda sei? Ndizvokuudzira. Unombomuudzira anenge achizvinzwa.
What do we do about that?
Anenge achizvinzwa. Remember, we've got an ego yatinayo.
All right.
Handiti tinogona tange tisiri kukuteererai, but wazogara wawega ndopaunoti ndokaupwerekedu kaike.
Akakuita parent. I feel like you varume vanongodaita get away with a lot nezvozvo zvimastatement zvokunzi murume ipwere. Noted kuti everything is now prioritizing girls, and we now have women who are powerful than men, financially and morally as well. The boy child arikusiwa kumasure. Now they can no longer handle vakadzi. That's why now you see kuti we've got independent women. She's a full package. She can cook, clean, anouya nemari yacho kumba. You get the men now wekuti basa nokuzonda kurishaya. Handisi kuriwana basa nawo agara kumba zvaangakadzidziswa unongounza mari chete. Hazvisirizvo. Times have changed. Now vakuda kutodzidziswa kunzi no, you can do madiapers. So that imbalance iri kuda kuti tiigadzirise.
All right, interesting conversation right there. Okay, I'm going to ask those that are on TikTok. If you have not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please do. Rumbi Uncensored on YouTube. Please right there and subscribe. Quite an interesting conversation, but you know, being a single person, I've realized that our problems are very much interlocking to the politics. One thing that Zimbabweans don't realize that as our toxic politics have ruined a lot of things. A lot of things. Marriages are falling apart because of politics. Because people don't really get time to study how to become a better wife, how to become a better man. Because everyone is just surviving. You know, we are pushing on how can I feed the family, how can I do that, how can I... So honestly, we need to always remember that if we don't come together and hold hands and fix our political systems, we're always going to be suffering. We, the people, are going to lose marriages. We, the people, are going to suffer. We won't even enjoy our lives. But some people will say, oh, I don't want to get involved in politics. How can you not get involved when you get in the shop, you can't even afford to buy something for your family? How can you say that you're not a politician? If you can go in and actually vote, you are a politician. So politics is not a demonic thing. It's simply saying, I want to be part and parcel of what's going on in my society. I want to also contribute when people are making decisions or policies about my life, about my children, about my child's education, about our employment. Guys, it's time. That's why I'm asking on TikTok, YouTube, come together, get involved, say something, contribute. You know what I mean? Now going back to the conversation, I still believe that most people get excited about the marriage in terms of a wedding. You know, people coming together. They don't realize that, no, that is just a wedding day. Real marriage is a journey. It's for a lifetime. In fact, life on its own, it has ups and downs. That's how it's built. You know, even as I am a single person, I still have challenges, right? And I don't think that when you marry, challenges are going to stop. No, they're always going to be there. It's part of life. It's how we grow. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from what challenges us all the time. But it's very important to communicate. I've always been a master of communication. Talk about everything when you're dating. It's unfortunate. Then you don't even talk, right? You kind of put sex forward more than conversations. Unfortunately, I'm not going to sit here and decipher. I'm not that kind of person. If I'm teaching you about becoming a good woman, then or a good man, I'm going to have to be honest with you. You are rushing too much, Kumagumbeza. You don't communicate. You're just lying to each other. No, I love you. Love on its own is a word. It's a narrative word. But there's more to it, right? Talk about everything. Family life. What makes you happy? What anchors you? What is your past experience? Trauma, Remember, there's a lot going on in life, right? As we get, as we associate in families, there's a lot that people are kind of accumulating. Have those conversations. Be authentic. Stop cutting corners. We met in Johannesburg, now we just vibe and let's just move in. All right, move in. We can forget about parents. I'm always saying any man who would want to move in with you and disregard your parents is a red flag. It's a red flag. Because a good man who was well raised from a family understand and respect his parents. That I can't do this because my dad won't like it. My parents will not tolerate it, right? And some people can come in and say, oh, but you know what? I know my friend moved in with a boyfriend and everything was okay. I don't judge life based on exceptionals. I use the odds. Right? Exception. If you succeeded that way, oh, God bless you and I respect you. But as far as I'm concerned, I still believe that the real rules must be followed. You must honor parents because there's no marriage without family. Let the people lie to you. It's only me and my man. No, we don't care about family. It's a lie. You need family. You understand what I'm saying? Respect them, honor them. It does not matter how they look or where they come from. I've always said to people, even if people talk about, oh no, he's come from a poor family. It's nonsense. There's nothing called a poor family. It's just called their lifestyle. Okay? Nothing called is a poor family. It's nonsense statements. It's their lifestyle. It's just their season. It will change. So be nice and be human. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I get to that place, it doesn't matter. No. It's okay. Take me there. Take me back. Let's go there. Let's see your parents, right? If they are dead, show me where they were buried. Don't cut corners. Some of you like to cut corners a lot, and that comes with consequences, right? So you are in this relationship that you just doing. Oh no, we just met. No, you know what? Me and my man, we love each other. No, we just like moving in together. We're just moving in together, me and John. Right? It's English. No, that's what white people are doing. All right. Now, let me tell you what white people do. I've been doing property for the past 8 years and dealing with white people very closely. White people don't let their kids move in without parents involved. Did you follow your parents in Zimbabwe before you cohabitate that mom and daddy, we are cohabitating? Did you? No, it's the cutting corners. Right? Right. So when things go ugly, don't complain. It's the way you started. Foundation is important. How you started will determine how you end, right? So if you're smart, do the right thing. Follow the rules. No, it's not about the money. Oh, the man doesn't have too much money. No problem. But at least go to the parents and respect your parents. Mama and Daddy, I love your daughter. I really do. I don't have much, but I love your child. They'll honor you. They'll bless you. That's what brings the blessing in a relationship and marriage. Is respecting elders and honoring them, not cutting corners. Oh no, we just want to do a thing. No, no, we just like sometimes some people will say, oh no, because the rent is very expensive, so we're just sharing the rent. Oh really? Excuse me. So are you telling me that even when your mama's house, you were not content with the life that you had? You rather share. I've seen girls sharing rooms and getting married to the most successful men, and today they have successful marriages. It's only you that you find rent are very expensive, and then you need to cut corners and be staying with this man, and just cut and lie to people. Girl, listen, you are listening to a 41-year-old woman, right? We have met men out there. Men aren't what you actually think. They're not as stupid as you think. Men are actually the most wisest people. They're still playing the game. You play with you for 10 years and marry someone in 2 months. Yet from your sister. A man don't marry you because he cohabitated with you. Some people say, oh no, we need to know each other when you cohabitate. It's a lie. You have to be a husband as an individual and a wife as an individual before you marry someone. You have to become the character that you need when you marry someone. You know why biblically, for those that read the Bible, Asa had to go through a year with all the girls to meet the king, to marry the king. In other culture, they're still doing the same. You want to marry in a family, come talk. I'm a Karanga person from Mashingo, right? And I want to marry someone from Murewa. And maybe I want to marry someone Arquera Moyo Ntizo. That's quite. I'm terrified of Chirandu people. I'm terrified. I'm sorry if you're Chirandu there, but yeah. But I'm just saying, as an example, maybe I want to marry someone who is in busy or something, right? You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand. I don't know how they live their life. But a wise person, if you're a wise woman, what do? I need to go see your parents. Stay with the mama for a week or 2 weeks. Go out with the mother. See how they live their life. If that's going to suit you. And you go back to your mom's house. But you want to cut corners and expect success. Ma'am, it doesn't work like that in life. Show me any person who succeeded, be it in business, be it any form, even career, where they were cutting corners. It's only in marriage where you think you can cut corners and all of a sudden you succeed. That's what you're thinking. It's all in your head. Me as a sister, I'll tell you, follow the rules. Respect rules. Do the right thing. Honor family members. Honor parents. It's a principle. When the parents throw a blessing, it is a principle. You understand? When you go, no matter how poor you think they are, if you go sit and kneel down and they put their hand on you and bless your marriage, it will work. But if you say, no, they're not gonna buy some, no. It's 2024 now, man. I know it's English. All right, but don't come to us with your problems. Because you already broke a principle of disrespect elders and disrespect Manmakuru. You understand? Okay. As much as you think I'm that poshy, I'm very much traditional at heart. I still believe the rules. And people know what I believe in. Let me stay with your mama, right? With mama. Your mama is your mom. It's my mama, right? Yeah, for a week, 2 weeks together. We're going to see how you guys have been cooking in your home. Remember? Yes. Mama's food. Right. Mama's cooking. Holy Spirit. It's Mama's cooking. Right. Okay. That's just all I have for you this afternoon. I want you to love each other. Please spread the fire of love everywhere you are. Spread the fire of love. We are very closer to the Zimbabwe that you want. I want you to know that freedom is very near. Very near. Trust me. Something is going to give. But one thing that we need is unity. We must hold each other's hands. Gatibatani always, with all respect. And I'll say shout out to my father, that is Thomas Mafuma. Gatibatani all the time. Tinokunda everything if we unite all the time. Guys, we must unite, always share and spread the fire of love wherever you are. We are one people. We must care and support each other where we can. I love you. May God bless you, and may God bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.